Hey everyone, it's Emily. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. It's kind of an update Q&A slash I moved, as you can probably tell. I will also show you me filling up my Billy bookshelf from IKEA, which always fun. I love seeing actually those reorganizing things, which is it really reorganizing or just filling them? Doesn't really matter, right? So for the update, I moved. I'm great. I am totally planning on doing a different background for my videos than this, but I thought right now it's kind of festive-ish, which is always good. And yeah, I will try to fill this in for the next video. I get so many questions about how I manage to read books and how I organize myself, because if you don't know, I have a second channel. Like if you like beauty, makeup, skincare, fashion related videos, I will link it down below. It's Beauty with Emily Fox, so you can go on there. There's actually a Q&A there too, so if you want to know more about these type of questions, I will refer you to that video. There's also a giveaway, so always great. But for the question, how I read so many books, well, I'm stuck in a bus for an hour a day on average, so that forces me to read because why not? I have nothing else to do. So yeah, I read basically an hour a day doing that. I also currently don't own a TV, which it's probably gonna change after Christmas. But yeah, I do watch TV shows and stuff on my computer because I also like force myself to read, like force myself to read at least half an hour to an hour before bed. To me, like I know some people read to calm themselves, which that's me, and some people just can only read whenever they are not stressed, so obviously everyone is different. Personally, I need to read to calm myself down because otherwise I'm glued to my computer and I don't sleep well, and I'm a pretty anxious person, so I need to read books before bed to just, you know, be able to calm my brain a little bit. So that's what I do. And yeah, I will, when I read a good book, I will probably, oh my god, I'm so tired, it's just 8 o'clock, let's go to bed. And during the weekend, whenever I have time, I love to be able to read for a couple of hours. So yeah, that's how I manage to read so many books a month. But to be honest, I do read pretty fast. I had no idea whenever I started my channel like 4 months ago that what speed I could read at, because it was my first time really reading in English, like books. I would like read school stuff in English, but nothing for entertainment. So yeah, I apparently can manage to read quite fast. What was your favorite book as a child? I have no idea. I've been like reading basically forever. That was actually another question. When did I start reading? I would actually fool people into thinking that I could read before I could read, because I have a great memory, and someone would read me a book a couple times and I would be able to read it to someone else, which yeah, I fooled quite a few people there, but I could obviously not read. And so I've always read, and I'm gonna go with the boring answer and say Harry Potter, because I grew up thinking I could be in that world, which I am not, which sucks. I'm still mad about it. Are you? Because honestly, part of me is like, I should have been in there. I should have. Favorite book about villain? The most recent one I've read was the one with by Victoria Schwab, V. Schwab. I can't remember her name right this second, but I will put it so you can find it. But one of her books is about basically two super villains, kinda, that used to be best friend in college, and they like figured out a way to have powers. So pretty good book. I recommend it. Do you have a job? Any pets? Yes. Like I said, I do answer quite a few questions on my main channel, but I'm still gonna say it. I am finishing part-time law school, and I'm also working part-time, and I don't have any pets, which makes me really sad. I absolutely love pets, and if I could right now, I would have at least one cat and at least one dog, but I don't have any right now, but I'm hoping I will. It's just the only reason I'm not having a dog right now is the fact that I hate winter, and I feel like it would be something really mean to get a dog and like force someone else to walk it during the winter. Most reread book, again, Harry Potter, boring, but like every summer or every Christmas I would reread the whole series, which I'm doing this month again. So yeah, I probably read every book at least 20 times, although it is my first time reading them in English, so does it still count as a reread? I think so. Thoughts on Harry Potter? I think I've made it clear right now. Harry Potter's life. If I could be Hermione, I would. By the way, do you feel like that? Like huge tangent, but I feel like Hermione is the only person acting reasonably in this world. If I learned that I am a witch, I would read every single book that I could at the library and would just practice all the freaking time. I don't understand them. Like, That's the only normal reaction. How do you deal with reading slumps? Honestly, a lot of people get super nervous about it, and it's okay to not feel like reading sometimes. Like, if I'm too stressed, I will binge watch. I was going to say Netflix. I don't have Netflix, but anything else than Netflix, like series online or anything, I would just do something else. Go for a run, talk to friends, do anything other than reading because you're not feeling like it. But you can also read smaller books or books that will really grip you, or reread some books that you know that you love. I think that's a great way to like put yourself in the mood for reading. So I feel like very often when I read a lot of books in a row that I'm like not a fan of, that's kind of what makes me like, eh. By the way, I didn't even address the fact that I'm wearing Christmas PJs, but I think we all can accept the fact that it's okay. My favorite book that I read in November, obviously Mistborn, the first book being The Last Empire, which I'm currently reading the second book, and I am eating that book up. I will be done with it by the end of the week, and it's like 750 pages, and I'm loving it, like every second. So if you haven't read that series, recommend it. I know some people are intimidated, but don't be, read it, you will love it. The second book is actually even better than the first one, so. If you were to recommend one of your favorite books to someone, which book would it be? Oh, it would be so hard, but I feel like it really depends if I know their taste or not. Like if I know nothing about their taste, I would go with something like super simple, like The Martian, which everyone pretty much loves. You can't go wrong with that book. I absolutely love that book. I often get questioned if I'm going to be reading books in French on my channel. I mentioned in the video that I did when I started that I wanted to read more books in English just to practice my English. I am planning on reading some books in French. If I accidentally stumble upon a book that is in French, I will read it. I also plan on reading like the classics that were written in French, like Le Comte de Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas, or any other Alexandre Dumas, like Trois Mousquetaires, or like, you know, things like that. Those I will totally read in French because they were written in French, so why bother reading the translation when you can read the real deal? So yeah, I will read more books in French, but I'm planning on reading most of them in English. So yeah, a lot of people asking me for my first language. I get so many questions for my accent, which I get it. On YouTube, there's not a lot of French Canadian, which, yay. If you're from Quebec, you know it. There's not a lot of us, and I get so many questions here on my main channel, especially people like have no idea if I have a speech impediment or a weird accent. But yeah, I'm French Canadian. I was born and raised and still live in Quebec, Canada, so yeah, French. If you could trade places with a character in your favorite book, who would it be? Did I just not already mention Hermione? I'm really boring right now, but like I don't have my books on my shelf, so I feel like I can't like find answers, but to be honest, who would not trade their places with Hermione? I don't want to be Harry, I want to be Hermione, clearly. I get so many questions where I buy books. I feel like I've mentioned it in every book haul, but it's either thrift store like Value Village, which they have really good deals. You buy 4 books, you get the 5th one free, and most of the books, they say like between $1.99 and $4.99. Most of them are $4.99, but because you buy 5, they end up being $4 each, so that's pretty good. I also would recommend going to your local library. A lot of people were actually thanking me for reminding them because they often sell books, which that's what I do. My library has some really, really great deal. The books are either 25 cents, some of them are $1, which is crazy. So yeah, that's where I buy most of my books. And then I wait usually for sales, like the Christmas sales are coming up, and I'm really excited to pick some up books at Chapters because there's some books that you just will not find at thrift stores. So plus, frankly, I also really love new books. Who doesn't? They smell really good and everything. So yeah. Most anticipated read for next year. I'm really excited for the last actually book in the trilogy, Darker Shade of Magic. I don't remember what the trilogy is called, but V. Schwab. So excited to see where it's gonna go because honestly, I have no idea how she's gonna make the 3rd book better than the 2nd one. The 2nd one was just basically everything I love. There's magic and there's like a tournament of wizards. Like, if that doesn't sound awesome. For other books, I have no idea. To be honest, I will just like pick up books and read them. I'm planning on like setting myself some goals, and I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about like putting like, oh, you need to read like X number of this type of books, and I realized it's gonna be my first full year on BookTube, and I just want to have fun, and from there I will see if I feel like I need to change something. Like, oh, I read like 0 historical fiction. Dude, you might want to, you know, mix it up a little bit, but I will probably still have a ridiculous amount of fantasy and sci-fi because they're my jam. I also get questioned about books that I'm currently reading and everything. There's always my TBR, which I don't always follow, but I recommend following me on Goodreads if you don't already. It's always fun to be able to comment and like see what everybody's reading, and you can put yourself a goal, which I'm not sure yet what goal I'm gonna give myself for next year, but I did hit my goal of 50 books for this year in like 4 months. It's just, I've been reading a lot. But Goodreads is a great place to see what I'm currently reading. I usually remember to put it there so you can like see it in action. That answers most of the questions that I've received. Now I will include me reorganizing my bookshelves. I hope you're ready because I'm not. Can I just say though, I had to move all my books back home, and I had to remind myself that I love them books, because stairs are hard with books and my legs are killing me right now. Okay, so this is most of my books. I am missing 1 or 2 boxes, but I did a pretty fail attempt at a rainbow shelf, and then there's like some of my favorites and stuff and like what I'm currently reading, but yeah. So of course the second I am done is when I find another box, and I know there's at least another one somewhere, but I officially give up, and that is it for now. And it doesn't look that great, but I'll reorganize it a million times for sure. So that's it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and to subscribe and always see in future videos, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.